How's it going, everybody? We are about to start our Chaotic Storm raids, and this blog came out yesterday, so I want to touch on this before I actually go into the raids. Basically, what they're saying here is, in the final preparation for the release of the Chaotic Storm raid, they found some bugs that basically caused it to where we have to do the boss nodes. Now, for the Chaotic Storm normal, this is the one where everybody kind of has their own lane. The final boss nodes are no longer optional if you want to 100% complete the raid. I actually find this as okay. I don't really hate it. I don't really dislike it. It's just kind of there. Now, keep in mind that the rewards are tied to individual node completion, not the alliance completion percentage when you're doing the Chaotic Storm normal. So getting 100% help in this raid is not required. This will kind of help you out with the leaderboard portion and kind of get you some experience when you end up jumping over to the Chaotic Storm Omega. That's why I'm actually okay with it. Now, for the Chaotic Storm Omega, they have to reduce the number of final boss nodes from 8 down to 2. So before, everybody had to do the main final boss node in order to get the 100% completion. Now there's only going to be 2, and these final boss nodes are no longer optional for the 100% completion. So we have to do them. So keep in mind that the rewards for the Omega are more tied to the alliance completion percentage. A reason for reducing the number of final boss nodes for the Omega is that it's unfair to require all 24 members of your alliance to complete the final boss to achieve 100% completion. So if we end up jumping in game, we're actually about to go in this. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So we're going to end up going into the Chaotic Storm Omega, going into the preview. I'm going to end up doing the left side today. I'm not going to be able to do the full thing. I'm going to try to swap over tomorrow and do the right side, so we kind of have a good look at both sides of the nodes on here to help you guys out. So the way this works is we have the tech section first. After you do 2 nodes, you're going to end up doing this boss node where it actually says tech or mystic, which is really weird. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's supposed to be that way. But if we kind of go all the way through, at the end over here, this is the main boss. There's going to be one main boss on each side. Before they had it where you had to do all 4. Due to the energy constraints, I get why they're making it down to 2, but the rewards aren't even impactful. It's 10 T4s over here on each side. It's kind of a big whoop on there. Now the boss nodes for the sub bosses, there's really nothing on there. I didn't do any play testing yesterday as I was at work at the office, so I wasn't able to really jump on the play test. So let's go ahead and start on the tech section right now. This is the Omega difficulty 5. So from my understanding, these are pretty easy on here. All right, so we're going to end up doing the Orcus team on here. So we have ISOs, Sentinels, a striker. I'm keeping LDS as a striker, 2 raiders. We're putting a healer on Scientist Supreme. Let's go ahead and see how this is. I did watch the video that Dorky Dad put out. I'm curious if they kind of ramped up any of the difficulty from going on the test server to the live server on here. So we're about to find out together. Now, Psylocke here, she's going to end up doing her kind of turn 1 move, which puts this orange debuff on us. And that first shot took out pretty good chunk on Sentinel. Let's go ahead and ult with Scientist Supreme. All right. And we are no other taunts. So we're going to end up doing a special. I was kind of expecting more damage based on the video that Dorky Dad did and what we see here. We only took off half health on the Nemesis right there. Let's go ahead and target Green Goblin Classic. We're going to ult. There goes the Psylocke. There's the ult. Omega's kind of doing some work right there. We're kind of getting wrecked pretty good, though, which is kind of what I was expecting based going from test server to the live game. So I wasn't too concerned about doing the test footage. All right, so there goes a Nemesis, there goes a Black Bolt. Let's go ahead and ult into the Man Thing. All right, so now we have the Eternals out on the field. We do have an Oath out there. All right, so we're stuck on the taunt with Zombie Juggernaut. We're going to basic there. Let's go ahead and special. All right, so those who retaliates definitely did some work for us. All right, we're going to special here. There goes the Red Goblin. Pretty good damage on Oath right there. This is going to do the flip. And let's go ahead and get an ability block into Oath. I don't want her ulting into me. Ult with the Sentinel. We do have the safeguard that's going to protect us when the Icarus ends up ulting into us, unless we can get to him a whole lot sooner. All right, so there's one push into Cersei. Icarus doing a flip into the Sentinel bots. And he did get the double tap in us. That's going to slow down the Nimrod. All right, so Oath did end up getting that ult. Orcus, they do get a lot of ability energy back. So I can be a little bit more reckless with the turns if I need to, but I think we're pretty good now. First impressions, these guys hit really freaking hard, and I'm worried about the later nodes. All right, Green Goblin Classic doing an ult. They kind of look like they don't have a lot of health. We're going to ult because we get ability energy back anyways. Let's basic here. All right, so one node down. Node 2, we have Tech again. Let's go ahead and do this. Same ISOs. I think we're okay there. Let's see. All right, so Psylocke's going to end up doing that ability turn 1 again. If you ever need to, you are able to kind of do a sack into this. That's going to stop it. Let's go ahead and ult here. And we're going to do a turn meter rewind into this section. I just feel more threatened about the Gene portion than the Psylocke. Let's go ahead and ult. And we're just going to go all in on this Nova. Let's go ahead and ult into this section over here. All right, ult with Sentinel. So we got rid of a leader. That's good. And one of the sunspots. Whole lot of stuns out there. All right, so we need to get through this Korg. So we try to take care of at least one of the Novas. Let's go ahead and ult over here. That's going to do some massive damage. All right, so let's try and take care of this Nova. Because we already got the charges off. He's already low in health. Let's special into this one for the ability block. And special over here. All right, so yeah, we just had to do a lot of control. I didn't want those Novas popping off, getting the specials or the old for the battlefield effect. Let's go into the Ghost Rider Robbie and special. All right, so there goes the Nova. 8 out of 15 left. Let's go ahead and ult. Get slows out there. All right, so now we're stuck on a Sasquatch. So we just had to kind of punch through him. He does have that safeguard also, which is unfortunate. All right, let's go ahead and special. All right, so we're through that one. Let's go ahead and ult. I'm going to target this Gene. So we got 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to clear this wave out. Then we have a boss node we're going to be experiencing. All right, let's go ahead and ult. Massive damage right there. All right, so yeah, this one isn't too bad. The opening barrage feels worse on node 1 than node 2 in my opinion. Node 2 is just more try to get as much control as you can. All right, so there goes that one, and we're just going to do auto basic into the next one. Then we'll go into the sub boss node for the tech section. All right, so for the boss node over here, the rewards, they don't look worth it. For the purpose of this video, I'll do it. You do get the raid milestone points. This is the big thing that's going to kind of get you on the higher leaderboard. Our alliance, we're doing all of the tech, including the boss nodes on here. So let's go ahead and knock this one out. So it looks like we are able to do Tech or Mystic on here. That's very interesting. We're going to stick with the Orcus team on this. Let's see how this goes. All right, so Psylocke doing that ability again. All right, so this Kohori is going to end up ruining us a bit. All right, let's go ahead and ult. Got the trauma out there. The offense down's going to help. All right, let's go ahead and special for the turn meter rewind. I'm staying on the leader. That's going to rewind the Gore and that Scarlet Witch zombie and the Kohori. Let's go ahead and ult here. That should get some stuns out there. So we got a stun in the Penny. Let's go into Kohori because she scares the crap out of me. All right, ult with Sentinel. That's going to get some bots out there. All right, that Morgan's about to pop off on us too. Let's target Morgan and ult. Almost got the one shot on her. All right, that's going to give her turn meter and killed off. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and special with Scientist Supreme. All right, we're just going to go all in on Kohori because she's about to do her ultimate, then special. It's going to be bad. Let's ult into her. Got the Striker shot. So I like Striker on Lady Deathstrike mainly due to the massive bleed damage that she pumps out. At least in the raids. Other game modes, I kind of debatable if you want Striker or Raider. Go ahead and special. Alright, so we got her killed off. That's great. We have 8 more enemies to kill. Let's go ahead and special into Kraven. Got a stun on him. Alright, ult with Scientist Supreme. Let's go into the Zombie Scarlet Witch real quick. Alright, 6 enemies left. Big threats. She's offense down. Let's go ahead and take her out quick. Then we'll take care of this clump over here with Lady Deathstrike special, which is what I was hoping for. Alright, so this one is pretty much cleared out. Definitely doable. Definitely worth it for the milestone points. Alright, ult here. All right, so Tech is done. Very easy. They hit like a truck, though. My God. Okay. All right, next up, we have the bio section. I'm going to end up doing burn attacks in this one here. The reason being is their modifiers. So reduce the active healing by 50%. That's nothing big. It's this character cannot fill speed bar for this for any character. So that shuts down the Super Skrull, that shuts down the Hive Mind characters. We're going to go in, do a burn attack. Let's go ahead and remove this team. Let's go in with a bunch of random characters in here. We'll do Invisible Woman as well. We have the Annihilator 2-piece, and we're just going to go in. I might try to pull a few abilities first. We'll see what it looks like. That way it can use the same team as the next one. That kind of will min-max your purple 3 investment. So Shadow King's going to end up doing the ultimate here. So now we have that Psychic Skull or whatever it's going to be called for here. And let's go ahead. Let's see if we can pull some abilities. We'll use Gore's ultimate. And Gore got wrecked. All right. We pulled the special from Shadow King. I think that's the big thing I want to try to pull. We have a Squirrel Girl. We have a Guardian. We have a new Emma Frost over here. I might want to pull one of her abilities. Captain Sam's ultimate. Let's go ahead and ult with Invisible Woman. I'm definitely going to be looking at the turn meter, though, on a lot of these characters. Let's go ahead and special. And I want to aim for this corner because as the Guardian and the Shadow King, this chunk over here is the Dakin. It has a couple interesting characters, but nothing major that I want to pull from. right, there's the ability block. So she took a turn. Squirrel Girl took a turn. Cap Sam ulted. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and hit lose battle instead of retreat. Now I actually got some abilities pulled. I pulled the Psychic Scar ability from the Shadow King. So let's hurry up, go back in. This time we're going to end up choosing our Hive Mind Super Scroll team. So I do have level 100 on the Hive Mind characters right here. Super Scroll should be 105. And thank you for that. Let's go ahead and see how this goes. All right, so let's see how this goes. Shadow King ends up doing a ping at the start, or a basic at the start, because he still gets 100%, which is fine. Let's go ahead and special. This is going to rewind a little bit, get the exposed out there. Now we're going to basic, try to get off the zombie Juggernaut. And let's go ahead and ult into the zombie Juggernaut. That's going to flip. And I'm going to go into the Shadow King right here and ult into him. All right, ult with Gwenum. I probably should have stayed on zombie Juggernaut there to get a push on him, kind of get us going, but it looks like this is fine. In the future, I'll probably stay on the zombie Juggernaut instead of flipping over so early. All right, there's a lot of push for us now. Go ahead and special. All right, so there goes the Shadow King. That's great. 9 characters left. I think I was still in an ult here. That's a lot more push to keep the Hive Mind team going into this. Let's go ahead and basic. I'm going to target Emma. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Basic into Emma again. All right, special into her. Trying to get her killed off. There she goes. Try to push Guardian a little bit more. And let's go ahead and basic here. All right, I don't mind burning the special on Red Goblin right here. All right, we got 3 minutes left. Here comes a Black Knight. Let's go ahead and ult. That's going to end up flipping. All right, so we don't get the trauma. So this is the PvE Black Knight. That's great. Let's go ahead and ult into the Black Knight. We just got to kill off these 4 characters, so we're looking good right now. Let's ult here. And we're going to go ahead and special. And yeah, we'll use the ultimate here. We get a lot of ability energy back for the Hive Mind team in raid, so we can definitely burn through these. And there it is. Not terrible, actually, once you do the burn attack. So it just takes extra purple ISO to do the burn, get your characters ready to go in there for that. All right, next up, we have another bio. So let's go ahead and knock this one out. We're going to do the same thing. Just going with a bunch of other bio characters. Invisible Woman got killed off. We'll use Groot this time. Positioning really doesn't matter. We're just going in. We're going to burn some more abilities. Get the opening abilities off of that the Shadow King. All right, so Shadow King's going to do that ultimate. Now, this one here, we can actually get these characters wiped off. We don't need to save them. I'm not doing the boss node. I don't think it's honestly worth it when you have to think about how much ability energy or raid energy that you're burning through on this. So we got the Rogue ability pulled. Shadow King got pulled. Looks like there's that Nightcrawler pulling another Rogue. Yeah, we're pulling a lot of good abilities right here. All right, let's go ahead and ult right here. All right, so we pulled the ultimate from Nightcrawler. That's fantastic. And I want to see if I can pull this special from Shadow. Actually, that's his basic. That's fine. All right, perfect. All right, so let's go back in with that Hive Mind Super Scroll team. We'll keep the same ISOs again. My Hive Mind is level 100. Super Scroll's the 105 on here, so I'm kind of making pretty good progress, but the diamonds definitely do help the Hive Mind team in here. All right, so there goes Shadow King doing his basic, and we're gonna end up doing an ult in here. I think I want to try to ability block this Nightcrawler. Actually, everybody gets the ability block. That's right. All right, we're gonna end up doing a basic in here. Let's go ahead into the Rogue. We don't have Super Scroll's special. That's fine. Let's go ahead and special into Coulson. We got him pushed. There we go. Now we got the Charm Meter train going. Let's special into Red Hulk here. All right, ult. And there goes a lot of the pushes. Now we get to start ramping up, which is perfect. Let's go ahead and special here into Nightcrawler. I don't care about the ability energy. It's more maximizing how many people I'm hitting. Let's go ahead and ult into She-Hulk. More pushing. Let's ult into Shadow King. Got the striker shot going into that vulnerable. All right, let's go ahead and special into Red Hulk. Yeah, once we get going, Hive Mind's still doing work. That's actually fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and special here. It was the Shadow King. It was Nightcrawler. So we got Rogue to kill, then 4 more enemies. All right, so we got a Weaver out there. That's interesting. All right, let's go ahead and basic. All right, we got the ult here. That's going to throw the ability block on a Weaver. All right, ult with Venom. And let's go ahead and basic. All right, so Rogue ended up bleeding out. We're ulting with Red Goblin. This should do some more pushing. All right, special. Yeah, so this was a cakewalk. All right, so we're gonna hit auto. We are going to bypass that boss node on there. Once we ever get the next raid team for the bio team, then we'll kind of take another look at it. But it's not worth burning 20, possibly 30 energy and heals to try to clear that. All right, so there's the boss node. Again, you get the 1,000 milestone points. You get 2 of the Crimson Catalysts on there. Shadow King, we got Jean Grey, Oath, Guardian, Kang, Moonstone, Titanius. We got some MOE characters. Sasquatch. That's a 1 million Nightcrawler. That's hilarious. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going into the Mystic section on here. This is great. So we're going to end up using our old team, the Night Stalkers with Mephisto. They're all 105, purple 3. We got diamonds on them, including Mephisto. Let's go ahead and see what happens on this one. Let's go ahead and make Mephisto a raider due to the blade synergy on here too. All right, so we have the new Emma. She ends up doing, or that's the old Emma. She ends up doing her thing. Let's go ahead and ult in here to get the... So even with the exhaust, he still does retaliate. So that's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and ult with Oath. And that Robbie just got jacked up. Okay, Robbie's dead. And the Black Knight's dead. Yeah, this is very easy. Let's go ahead and ult into Captain Britain. Get the assist from Blade. And Agatha's going to do her thing. Agatha's so good. All right, so there goes Emma. They're all bleeding out. Let's go ahead and basic. All right, so this was definitely easy. Let's go ahead and ult into Blade. All right, let's go ahead and ult still. That's fine. We got ability energy back due to Oath when we kill anyways. Go ahead and basic into Kang, take him out. And we'll just do a auto basic for the rest of this. This was so easy, it's cakewalk. And there that is. Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll use that heal. Let's go ahead and go in here. Same team. It should work just as good, if not better, than the last node on there, I think. All right, so there's Emma doing her diamond form. She gets the psychic stuff on. Let's go ahead and we'll use the empowered basic into that gladiator. Just try to get through him as quick as possible. We'll ult into him. This should actually kill him. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and ult. I'm going to end up targeting the Omega Red over here. So Red Goblin's going to get killed due to the ping from Agatha. Yep. All right, we'll target the Gore and ult over here. That's going to get the exposed out there. All right, we're going to target leader. Now we're going to ult. So there goes the Gore. We're going to get the assist coming in. Go ahead and special into leader. All right, we're going to end up doing a basic into the Emma Frost right here. She had the immunity, so we can't get the stun on her, so that's fine. All right, let's go ahead, target this Omega Red and special. That gets the ability block. Nice AoE damage. All right, so we got 6 enemies to kill, which is basically this wave. Then we have the boss node. Let's go ahead and ult. We're just gonna basic into that the lizard right there. Let's go into the lizard over here in basic. That lizard's gonna bleed out. Let's go ahead and just auto basic here. Super easy node. Very, very doable. All right, let's go ahead and see how that boss node is now. And same team, we're going to use our Mystic characters. Looks like this one can use Mystic or Mutant, which is very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and we'll use the basic to try to get off that Sasquatch as quickly as possible. Let's ult with Oath. This is going to get that exposed out there. Some nice damage. That Hank got wrecked. All right, let's go ahead and ult with Agatha. This should kill a few characters off right away. Yep, even the Emma got wrecked. All right, let's go into... Well, we're stuck on a taunt. Let's go ahead and ult into that Sasquatch. She wants to take it. All right, target Peggy. We're going to use the ultimate here. And we're going to special into the Falcon Joaquin. Just because he has like heals, he has the speed up. I just want to get rid of him. All right, there goes Patriot. Now we have a Peggy. What is basic into her? All right, so we have another Sasquatch. This is the last wave. 7 characters. Mystic and Tech are definitely cakewalks. That's great. And Bio honestly was not terrible. You just have to burn it, then we can get through it. All right, let's go ahead and special. All right, and we can get off. Let's go ahead and special into Kang. All right, ult. Yeah, we're gonna hit auto on this. This section's done. Very easy, very doable. Definitely recommend, if you guys are able to, full lanes, including the sub bosses on Tech and Mystic. If you need to do a pile in, or maybe do 2 lanes of the bio section, because those sacks are definitely doable, and that's going to try to help you guys get to that 70% for the leaderboard payout for each day, and that's going to help you for the season as well. All right, so we have the skill, we have mutant. So I don't have any more. I have power course. I'll make another video tomorrow, actually. So tomorrow I'll try to swap and take on the right side. That will let us take a look at the mystic section for the start. That's going to lead into skill, and then that will lead into mutants. That will get us the other 3 sections. So that video will come out tomorrow for you guys. Let me know what you guys are doing as far as the raids. If you guys have any questions, if you're struggling with anything as well, I'll definitely report the issue in the skills section. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.